Mike, I know you haven't been on the Twitter board for about 10 years or so, but as a former insider here, I'm curious how you perceive Musk's move now to not join the board and whether that's actually worse for Twitter.
Well, thanks for having me, Sarah. I would say that this is still a great thing for Twitter. Having your largest shareholder be one of your very best users, that's a very healthy thing. It's a great thing for Twitter still. Whether he's on the board or not, he's still going to have just as much of an impact on both Twitter as well as the product.
It's a great thing for Twitter, Julia. What do you think? His tweets are not so friendly about Twitter.
Well, I think we have to acknowledge something that the CEO said in the tweet when he announced the news that Musk was not going to be joining the board, which is that they have to be aware of distractions and they have to be able to keep working despite those many distractions. There is no doubt that what is going on right now is a major distraction, not only for the people working at the company, but also potentially for investors. I mean, you have to look at this company as one that has undergone so many changes. They have lost the CEO of Jack Dorsey. They have this new CEO who investors really are unfamiliar with. And they have a company that's trying to dramatically diversify its revenue streams and expand, not only adding more users, but also adding different ways to make money. So there's a lot going on right now. It's already battled with Elliott as an activist investor, and now they're looking at a potential other activist investor in Elon Musk, who is in his tweets kind of directing the conversation about the company right now. So I do think there is this major risk of distraction.
Mike, what is the problem at Twitter? Because in some ways it's facing the same issues that it did back when you were on the board, which is an issue of monetization and growing users. What is the issue there?
Well, I think it's important to put things in perspective. I mean, I completely agree with Julia. The point about avoiding distractions is very important. And it's always been the case at Twitter. At Twitter's there's always somebody around who thinks that they, have a great idea for what Twitter should do next. And, Twitter's able to roll with that. And, I think that Twitter is more relevant now than it has been in another year, a year ago or 10 years ago. Elon tweeted out that, hey, Justin Bieber hasn't tweeted anything recently. Is Twitter dead? Actually, I think right now it's a great signal that, people turn to Twitter every single day to find out what's going on in Ukraine. Zelensky is tweeting while he's being attacked. I mean, that's fundamentally better than it was just 10 years ago when Justin Bieber crime, thing that people were coming to Twitter for. So I think as long as Twitter stays focused on the fundamentals, continues to, become this, quality place where people can find out what's going on right now. People are conversing in this town square in a healthy, vibrant, non-toxic way. Then I think Twitter is going to be in great shape and will continue to grow.
Well, it's not healthy. It's very toxic. I don't know what the third thing you said is, but there's a lot of negativity and trolls and fake users and everything, Mike. But I actually wanted to get your thoughts specifically on Jack Dorsey and where this puts him right now. He's founder, former CEO, on the board, and an Elon Musk fan. Is he going to come in between the CEO and the company's now largest shareholder?
Well, I don't know what Jack and Elon are talking about. I mean, Jack is a very first principles-based guy. He's trying to create this town square can talk. I think he's done a lot of great work to reduce the trolls and the toxicity. But I agree with you. That is the existential threat to Twitter or any platform like Twitter, is the trolls and the toxicity. And that, I think is where there's going to need to continued focus by Twitter on making sure that environment for those conversations is a healthy one. And that means that sometimes people are going to get kicked off of Twitter, and that's a good thing. That's an okay thing. So I think it's really important that that the company stays focused on its core mission and continues to execute independent of all of the drama swirling around it, which, there's always drama swirling around Twitter.